Hi, I'm Andrea Maxim, the creator of the Maxim movement, and today we're going to get down to the truth behind artificial sweeteners. Now, you probably know the negative health effects of eating too much sugar, especially a lot of those added sugars, like what's in soda pop and candy and baked goods, and many of those commercially available cereals, just to name a few. But added sugar is hiding in just about everywhere you look in the grocery store. So yes, ingesting refined sugar spikes your blood sugar and your insulin, and of course increases your risk for a whole bunch of issues. A while ago, one of the foods industry's responses to the demand for lower calorie foods was still to give you great taste, and that's how we entered in artificial sweeteners. So the idea behind them is that you can still get the sweetness, but you just don't get the calories, like when you have a diet pop versus a regular one. Now, theoretically, this was going to help people maintain a healthy body weight and hopefully not increase anyone's risk of heart disease or diabetes or obesity. But life just doesn't always work out the way we think it will. Sugar substitutes fall into several categories, but what they all have in common is that they have a sweet taste and fewer calories than plain white sugar. So today we'll specifically discuss artificial sweeteners, what are synthetic chemicals, and what is it about them that makes them taste so sweet. These are also known as non-nutritive sweeteners and include things like saccharin, which is also known as sweet and low. There's also one called acyl sulfame potassium, another aspartame, which is an equal and NutraSweet, and then of course sucralose, which is in Splenda. Now, the negative health effects of artificial sweeteners are cited all over the place, and while many studies show effects, others don't. Cancer? Maybe yes, maybe no. Heart disease? Maybe yes, maybe no. Not to mention that much of the research has been done on animals, which may or may not translate to people. Unfortunately, we'll never see studies being done in people intentionally because you just can't put people into harm's way, knowing that there could be a high risk of a negative outcome. Now, I do want to point out one ironic thing to do with artificial sweeteners and weight. One study actually found that people who tend to drink diet sodas have double the risk, 2 times the risk of gaining weight than those who don't drink diet pop. Another study showed an increased risk for metabolic syndrome and diabetes for those who are consuming more of the diet drinks every single day. While these results certainly don't apply equally to everyone, they do somehow seem awfully ironic, don't you think? I mean, how do these artificial sweeteners actually affect our body? Now that's really the million-dollar question. There are so many ideas out there to try to explain it, but reality is we just don't know for sure. Plus, it might play out differently in different people, knowing that we're all built genetically different. Is it because people feel that they can eat cake more because they've switched to a diet soda instead of a regular pop? Or perhaps it's because sweeteners change the taste preferences so that fruits start to taste weird or veggies start to taste different. Maybe it's that artificial sweeteners are increasing our cravings for more sweets. As we know, sugar acts like cocaine in the brain and has that kind of triggering system to it. It could also be that the sweet taste of these sweeteners signals our body to release insulin to lower our blood sugar, but because we didn't actually ingest any sugar, our blood sugar levels are going to get too low to the point where we get those sugar cravings to replenish those blood sugar stores. Now, some even say, and at least one animal study suggests, that saccharin may inspire addictive tendencies towards consuming more artificial sugars. And maybe there's even a more complex response that involves this, like our gut microbes and how they help to regulate our blood sugar levels. In conclusion, though, just understand that added sugar is not good for you. But the solution may not be to replace that sugar with artificial sweeteners. Personally, I highly recommend that you just reduce your sugar intake in general so that you can start to naturally retrain your palate and start to enjoy the taste of real food that just isn't overly sweet. This way, you're ultimately reducing your intake of added sugar, as well as not needing to replace it with artificial sweeteners anyway. So here's something that you can try. Try having half a teaspoon less sugar in your hot morning drink, for instance. Try reducing 1/4 cup of sugar that's asked for in recipes. Or just try diluting your juice with more water instead of having it 100% juice. I promise that your body will thank you. Now, I'm sure you found this video interesting. That's why you're still with me to the very end. And I don't want to leave you hanging. So you have two options. One is you can book in a visit with me, and I'd love to work with you one-on-one to really get those healthy habits kind of ingrained into your body, but in a very easy and non-threatening way. You can still have your glass of wine, you can still have bread. We're just going to start making those lifestyle changes go a lot easier for you and get those results that you really want. The other thing that you can do is you can go to my homepage and just click on the 7-day meal plan that I have already prepared for you. It's totally balanced in natural sugars and proteins and fats, so there's no thinking on your part. I strongly encourage you to download that 7-day meal plan now, and then of course, come into my office whenever you're ready. I can't wait to start working with you.